Hello and welcome to our podcast, The Audacity of Adulting. I'm your host, Lynn.
And I'm your host, Jaira.
And today, this is going to be part one of a two-part series for now. We might add more parts in the future, but it's to a series called Toxic Asian Culture. And today, we are going to be talking about and focusing on Asian etiquette and what we grew up with compared to some of the things that our friends that may not be Asian do, and overall just the cultural differences and how, looking back, how interesting it is just comparing.
So, of course, we're always sipping on something good. And today we are bringing the probably number one drink right now, right? In Asian
It's very popular
drinking.
at this moment, trendy.
Yeah, so we have mango soju. There's just a little bit, so we're going to drink it first and then we'll move on to yogurt flavored.
Yeah, we have many bottles of soju nowadays because that's like all we drink because it's like the easiest alcohol to like put down. So we thought in honor, that is small.
Taking baby shots.
In honor of toxic Asian culture, we're going to drink soju. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Oh, yeah, juice.
Yo, we've drank a lot today already.
Okay, so like Lynn was saying, we're talking about Asian etiquette. So it's basically like the rules that you grew up with since we are both in Philippine Asian culture. And it might be something that other people don't encounter on a day-to-day basis. And growing up with the rules that we did and that other people or another culture might not grow up with.
Or think it's weird.
Yeah.
So growing up in an Asian culture, I find that throughout the years and throughout other Asian cultures also, not just Filipino, there are a lot of unspoken rules, but like things that you just kind of pick up on and know. And, you know, some of them that we're going to be talking about is taking off your shoes, no outside clothes on the bed, hosting and bringing things over, such as food and drinks, and overall, just a lot of things that if you don't do, people will think that you are just disrespectful or are disgusting or dirty. And yeah, we're going to be sharing some of that with you today because I remember when I was younger, you know, obviously growing up in an Asian household, I would be doing all of these things and I would watch TV and people would be doing the exact opposite, just like, you know, putting shoes on their bed.
Yeah, ew. I can't believe some people still do that.
Yeah, and like watching Disney shows. I remember this is so vivid in my memory, but if you guys know Life with Derek, did you watch that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Life with Derek. I think it was a Canadian show, but yeah, Life with Derek. Oh my gosh, when Derek put his shoes on the bed, oh, that grossed me out so much. And I was like probably 14, 13
Yeah, I
years
think
old.
watching those kinds of shows and they actually do wear their outside clothes and they're actually lying down on the bed with shoes. It was just very different to see because that's not what you would normally see in her and I's house.
Yeah.
Or an Asian culture's house.
Yeah, like even running in to like get something from the house, you still took off your shoes.
Yeah, I still do that.
Yeah, like people forget their keys on the counter or whatever, and it's literally like a few meters. You would take off your shoes. Whereas in other households, it's like you don't have to take off your shoes at all. And oh my gosh, I find that so weird. But it's just interesting to see that other people find that so normal. Like there are a lot of people who still take shoes on their house and they don't care. But for us, it's like a big no-no. And if anybody were to bring shoes, we would like tell them respectfully, take those off.
Yeah, and another thing is like you're bringing out public into your private home. And so that's the reason why the majority of our houses have like slippers, indoor house slippers, so you don't wear shoes in the house.
Yeah.
And it just keeps everything clean.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just so disgusting. I saw on TikTok this one girl who was showing her outfits and she wanted to show her shoes, like a complete outfit, but she's Asian. So she put a towel on the floor
Yeah.
And she showed her OOTD with the shoes because she was in her room and like not like obviously in like the outside.
Yeah.
And she was switching her clothes, showing all her different outfits. And I thought that's just so funny because that's exactly what I do too.
Yeah, you would never think to bring out your shoes inside and stomp around in your house with them.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with clothes on the bed. So usually for the most part, when we would come home, we would change to in like house
House clothes.
clothes or like pajamas or have a shower after work or kind of thing. So then you would be clean in your home and you'd be clean in your bed if you want to sit on it. But if you watched on TV or like watching television or even like growing up, like going to my friend's house, they would just lie on their bed with their outside clothes, like going on the SkyTrain or the subway and the bus, and like just being out in the park or the beach all day. And I don't know, there's something uncomfy about that to me.
Yeah, I had friends over before and they would have their outside clothes and I can't really say anything because it's like,
Yeah.
but there was this one time I told this one person, like it was just one person that came over to my house and she was wearing her outside clothes and it was like after work and she got on my bed and I got so mad. I was like, dude, get off my bed. At least change to your pants to these. And it's just like your bed is your sanctuary and you want to make sure that's clean,
Yeah, clean for your germs and like especially like depending on like how you do your day to day, if you like take public transit or if you're just like busy going to multiple environments, like it just feels like your clothes have or are attached to those germs.
Yeah.
And you just want to like remove it. Not to say that we don't reuse our clothes. We just put it in a pile that's not on our bed or like not going around in like the couches and the sofas and like,
Yeah.
beds and stuff. I mean, couches are fine. Bed is totally different
Not.
ball
Yeah.
game. Another thing I really wanted to bring up because I hold this topic so near and dear to my heart is the topic of hosting and parties. Yeah, so for me at least, when you're hosting or when you invite people over, you're expected to provide everything. So what I mean to say is that if I'm asking a group of people to come over for a dinner, I am bringing everything. Like my guests will want for nothing. Like there are desserts, drinks, a crap ton of food, and entertainment for my guests to feel comfortable and let loose and party, right? And it's not to say that I don't like potlucks. Potlucks are fine if, we collectively
It's a
say
collective
like, yeah,
idea.
like, hey, like let's meet up on Friday, and then everybody brings something and we meet up for game night or karaoke or whatever. But in like where Jaira and I were raised, whenever somebody threw a party, right?
Yeah,
Like,
they're the ones to put everything on the table.
yeah.
They didn't
and-
ask you to bring.
Yeah, and you still bring something. So I've never gone to a party no, not
Empty.
empty-handed, right? I've always brought something to a party, but I've never been expected to bring something, right? Like when my parents host a party and Jaira's family comes, yeah, they'll bring drinks, maybe they'll
Yeah.
bring presents, but my mom has cooked all the food and same goes for Jaira, right?
Yeah.
Like her mom has cooked all the food every time we've gone to Seattle for her birthday or whatever.
Yeah. And it's always, if you want to bring something, you ask. What should I bring?
Yeah,
and
you
bring
can
up the
ask what to
topic.
bring, and then
Yeah.
like usually the guest will say, "Oh no,
Yeah,
don't
nothing.
bring anything," but you bring something. You
Yeah.
bring something anyways. You bring booze, you bring
Yeah.
whatever.
Something, dessert, anything.
Yeah, and I find it so weird because I've attended parties here with like friends, obviously, and you go to the party and there's just like a few bowls of chips, and you're like, "Wow, this is so different from any of the parties that I've ever been to growing up." Usually at our Filipino parties, even if it's like a small gathering,
There's actual food.
yeah, there's minimally 6 dishes, right? There's like pancit, lumpia, barbecue, yeah, like puto, like whatever,
Chicken.
like yeah, fried chicken, right? There's just like a ton of things, and yeah, it boggles my mind how people party here. I feel like the more food, the merrier. Even
Yeah.
if there's, and another thing is that like Filipino parties,
Takeout?
they cook for leftovers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they cook for leftovers. So they expect you, when you attend a party, to be able to take food home
Yeah, they want you to take food
Yeah,
home.
like it's kind of like a giveaway
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of like a
food
giveaway
giveaway.
when you go to a party, you take a Ziploc of food home, and like that's yours, and they're happy to be giving it away. Like it makes them happy that you're eating their food, and it's respectful when you're
Yeah.
enjoying their food. I've been to a few parties where they didn't have enough food, and or like just enough, and it's just I don't know. It just takes away the merriment of abundance, especially when you're with family and friends, where it's like you don't get to see each other all the time, and then you come for a gathering, and it's just so nice to have a lot of drinks to bond over and food to share and eat and nice music to dance to and
Yeah,
topics to chat about.
and the more the food, the more that you'll be able to go back and forth.
Yeah.
So literally the whole night you can just eat
Yeah, exactly.
whenever you want.
Jaira and I would have like parties, and we would like eat all night, and we would even play like Truth or Dare and like mix foods in a
Yeah,
cup.
I remember
Ew,
that.
that was gross. Why do
Those
we do
fun
that? It was
times.
fun. We'd make like dessert
Yeah.
and like savory food, and like we'd be like, "Dare you to eat this?" But you know what I mean? Like the food was just available for anybody. Like no matter if you're a kid, if
Yeah,
you're adult, senior, teenager, whatever. Like the table is open for you all night to grab food when you need it. No judgment. It's just fun, and it's just a place for you to do that. And it just I don't know. It surprises me that people don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stuff that we grew up with, I would keep the culture of making sure that no outside clothes or outside shoes are in the house to keep that house clean. That's actually very unsanitary. Like sometimes you go to a public bathroom with your shoes and you don't want to bring that into your house. So
Gross.
obviously keep the shoes outside or like in the, what do you call that, foyer area?
Yeah, like mudroom kind of
Yeah.
entryway.
Yeah, so you keep it there, wear house slippers, and then go shower and make sure not to bring all that outside gunk into the house. And with the hosting, of course, I'd always want to make sure to provide for my guests. I don't expect my guests to like bring anything, and I wouldn't ask them to bring something unless it's like a collective idea like, oh, so we're all going to bring something, so like the potluck idea.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't expect my guests to bring anything other than themselves.
Yeah, I totally agree. For me moving forward, I actually love the way I was raised. Like
For sure,
looking
yeah, same.
back, my parents had such a fun time with all the parties they hosted and all the parties we attended. Like how like I don't know about you, Jared, but like can you just like remember all the times where our family would blast like Spanish music?
Yes, and dance parties.
Yeah, and like disco
eat.
music, and we'd be like, I don't know, 7 years old, 8 years old, and it was just so fun.
Yeah, we had a good childhood.
Yeah, and
so
like,
blessed.
yeah, and it was so fun, like seeing everybody's shoes in the entryway.
Oh yeah,
because
that's
there
the
would be,
fun
like,
part. You can't
yeah.
even open the door. Like all the
Yeah,
shoes are
there'd
in
be
the
like
way.
40 pairs of shoes there, and then like if people were double parked behind each other, they would like
Yeah.
grab these shoes and
Yeah.
like remove their car or whatever, make room for that person who's leaving to back out. And even though like the cultures are different, like living here, I definitely want to implement that in my life moving forward. I think it's so fun to be able to host. So I love hosting and having people over. And, I don't do it all the time. I do it when I'm in my means. So, like, if I can afford to host, because
Yeah, of
obviously it's
course.
expensive and I want to be able to provide. And then when I can't, right, then I just wait until I can, like Thanksgiving. And then when I am invited to somewhere, I really love being able to relax. Like, if I'm invited to somewhere, I don't really want to do a bunch of work or like think about bringing food or everything. Like I want to be there and have fun and just bring whatever I can.
Yeah, at least something, one thing.
Yeah,
that you can-
exactly. So I love that. I want to implement that in my life. As for, again, the no shoes, the bed thing, and like other little, I can't think of more Asian etiquette things, but there's so many out there that's unspoken.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to keep that moving forward, of course. My home is my sanctuary. It's somewhere that I want to be relaxing and I want to be just like super peaceful. And I can't imagine just bringing all of that outside gunk into what is supposed to be like a beautiful, peaceful home to me. So I definitely want to keep that going.
Yeah. And just to clarify, our topic today is not toxic Asian culture. It's just the etiquette. So nothing toxic about this topic.
Yeah. Anyways, that's a wrap up for today's episode. We want to thank everybody for keeping up with our podcast so far and enjoying it and giving us feedback, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing. We adore you all. Thank you so much for being a part of our little fun project. Again, if you haven't followed any of our social media links, they're all down below. We post different things on different platforms. Sometimes we just do YouTube specials. Sometimes we just do Instagram pictures. Sometimes we do Spotify. So make sure to follow. All our personal links are down below as well. Pour up our yogurt soju for cheers. Got yogurt soju. And cheers to Asian etiquette and culture.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
I like this better.